Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
You're listening to us right here on the radio with a difference, 99.1 and 99.5 FM. It is Kaieteur Radio. Welcome to the Monday edition of the Lall Show, and we hope that we're finding you in a good spirit. And as on the Lall Show, you know, we tell it as it is. So without further ado, we hand you over to the man of the moment who will make tonight's presentation, after which you can call us those numbers quickly, 226-7453 or 226-7454, 622-2222 or 624-6456. With that said, sir, namaste to you, and the floor is yours.
Namaste, Josh.
Namaste.
Tony, you're back. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bernard, Raj, to all you wonderful people, I say namaste. I hope you guys had a great weekend and a beautiful Monday. Mine wasn't that great. I had a protest. I went out and protested today, Bernard. Yes. Uncle and Auntie, it's Monday. You sure it's Monday, Joshua?
Yes, it is.
All right, well, let's begin, you know. Tonight you will hear from the Honorable Jagdeo. You'll hear in his own words, yes, why he's not going to do what all the international oil exports warning Guyana to do for a better deal with this oil. Yes, I'll play him and you will hear him for your own self. But before I get there, let me tell you the monkeypox is spreading. It's spreading in Portugal, in Spain, in the United Kingdom, and many parts of the world. They say it's coming with 2 variants. You hear that? Like the COVID. COVID have many variants. This one don't pick up another one. Billions of US dollars is being snatched out of Africa on a daily basis. And yesterday, Tony, the international news reported that only 17% of the 1.3 billion population is vaccinated. You hear me? Against the COVID. Only 17%, you know. That's 1 in every 6 people, Africans, vaccinated. The WHO had said the world has reached over 5 million deaths from COVID, but they believe it surpasses 15 million because of underreporting. Bernard? Many African countries on their knees begging the World Bank and IMF for more loans to buy COVID medicine and food for their people, while their leaders giving away the country's wealth daily to the foreigners in the billions. You know what's happening here in Guyana, Bernard? Isn't the same thing going on here, yeah, Uncle?
All the time.
Allowing the foreigners to come in here, fetching out our resources by the billions, while we begging for 2 million for help COVID and buy computer flash drives for the school children.
26 million US worth.
Continue throw mala around their necks and smile with these politicians. Y'all will end up worse than those Africans. Last week, I told you people how an American company boasting about a mega gold find in Guyana. I also spoke about another Canadian company boasting about their mega gold find. Saturday gone. Saturday, OMI announced to their shareholders how them also make a big gold find in Guyana. Another one. All three of these foreign companies boasting to their shareholders overseas about we gold and bauxite. Who boasting for we here as to what we get in Bernard, you know?
Not the government to do.
Miss Harris?
Nobody.
Namaste.
Nothing. Namaste.
Your leaders not even sending out a press release to say, dog or cat, this is what is going on in your country and what is there for us. Not a single word you're hearing from these people. And we are the owners of these people, of these wealth, you know.
Yeah.
Uncle and auntie, don't open your eyes to what is going on here. You guys will wake up soon as slaves in your own land, or discover that is already happening here. Ashni Singh boasting about 3 more gold companies, larger than Oh My coming. We have a ton of foreign companies already here in this country, from Australia, China, Russia, India, and some countries we don't even know, taking out our wealth in the billions. And the Guyanese workers got a whole protest to get an increase on the dog food salary they get in. We can't even put biscuits in a children lunch kit. Oh, what a Guyana this is, man. Don't stop what is going on or call on these corrupt clowns to correct this insanity. You will soon become like stray animals in your own country. Look at how some of we people got to be skipping meals. Yeah, man. Forced to be content with what they get. Just like stray dogs and cats prowling the streets. With that, I say namaste to all you people. The US, the United States, Bernard, was getting 18.75% royalty from their oil companies. Joe Biden wake up in December and said his citizens are being shafted by the oil companies and promptly increase their royalty rates. Their 18.75% they were getting, uncle. We profit the 2% royalty. Plus the profit don't even meet the 18. And that is only the royalty I'm talking about. The United States' entire take on their oil industry is 67% take. You know how much Guyana getting? 14.5%.
Chinese 74.
Understand this, Guyanese brothers and sisters. Most of the companies that have to pay the increased royalties is their own American oil companies, like Chevron, Hess, and ExxonMobil, of which the last two, yes, the last two of them, they're right here. And we doing nothing with them, but giving away more and more each day to them. That's what we're doing. Canada, Prime Minister just last week wake up and announced their royalty rates, which now running from 5% to 40%. They too say the oil companies shafting their people of their rightful share and promptly increase it. England Prime Minister just 2 days ago wake up to and slapped a 25% tax on every oil company in England. All three leaders of these major countries said the owners of the oil are being ripped off with what the oil company is giving the country. And they changed it, uncle. Promptly changed it. So what happened to we, man? We ain't got sense. Huh? Our leader love ExxonMobil and Hess more than us. About that? Guyana, on the other hand, with these corrupt and incompetent clowns, you know what I'm saying, Miss Harris? We can't touch the contract. He got cock away.
Brokers,
Yes.
liars, corrupt people.
And thanks for whatever little, yes, you give us. That is what we leaders saying to the oil companies. The foreigners are treating us like if them they left the oil, the gold and the bauxite here for us to keep for them. And both of these clowns in the government and the opposition thanking them now for the pittance they're throwing at us. America, UK and Canada, all three got oil contracts with the same terms and conditions that Guyana has, man. No different. You hear that? No different. Listen this carefully, uncle. I spent 2 days to pick up that information to share with you all tonight. Canada and the USA contracts sign in blood. Yes, the same way Guyana owns sign. And both countries raised their royalty rates. None of the leaders talk about sanctity of contract. They just did it, raised it. While we comedians here, yes, we have for leaders, keep harping on sanctity of contract. You hear that, girl?
Corruption. It's corruption.
Today again, the Honorable Jagdeo used the sanctity phrase at a press conference. Yeah, man. All three countries ordered their oil companies to pay more. You know why, uncle? Those leaders see the advantage the oil companies taking on the true owners of the oil wealth. Yes, the citizens, and making it a law for them to pay more dollars, top dollars. These are leaders, These are leaders looking out for their people and want the best for them. They are honest leaders. They don't steal and engage in corrupt behavior. And very important, uncle, they have the political will and leadership strength to make the oil companies pay more. What can we say about these politicians who call themselves leaders in Guyana? Can we say the same thing, Ms. Harris?
Never.
Accepting 2%? What do you call these people? I want to tell them to take that 2% and push it up them. You know, it's so sad. I'm on the radio and can't express myself. But you know where I'm talking about, where they should push it. Not a word these chaps saying to us. These people for real, man? Afghanistan, uncle, in complete starvation. They are now selling their 9 and 10-year-old daughters to men for food. Yes. You hear that? They are selling. The parents are selling their 9 and 10-year-old daughters to men for food. Yes. Just for their survival. Guess how much they're selling them for? $2,300 US you can get a 10-year-old girl for. Yeah, man. They're selling their 4 and 5-year-old kids for as low as $500 US. They can't afford to feed them. And they're dying through starvation. Now. Yes, now as I speak. Google it and you will see. All the international news had it yesterday. This is where Guyana is heading. If we don't stand up to what is going on here, uncle and auntie. We cannot depend or trust these politicians. They are only for themselves. Yes, their friends and their families. 2%. 2%. And out of that 2%, you know, part of it is coming out, right? So we are not getting full 2% royalty. I talked on many programs before how ExxonMobil taking out millions of US dollars every year from Liza 1 before them share profits with us. Yes, to clean up and put back the ocean floor the way it was before they begin this oil operation. I talked about it many times, Ms. Saris. That money should have been in a special bank account controlled by Guyana. But Jagdeo got ExxonMobil keeping it for us to clean up 20 years from now.
So they say.
Smart man Jagdeo is, eh? Exxon using that money to reinvest, yes, in our oil sector and charge us interest on that same money. That should have been in our hands. The amount they're taking out, none of us know until now. That's a secret between Jagdeo and ExxonMobil. Let me ask you all a simple question. Any one of y'all believe that the billions were Exxon taking out from we and said I'm putting it aside to clean up when the oil done 40 years from now? Y'all think that money gonna be there for Guyana's benefit? Huh? Well, you got to hear what the international experts now saying. Yes. They are saying that ExxonMobil is set to take out 3.6 billion US dollar for this cleanup. And they believe that come 40 years from now, when the oil is finished, Exxon will walk away and leave Guyana with that trouble in our hands.
Of course.
Yes.
They plan to leave the equipment anyway.
The taxpayers' money will have to be used, or Guyana will go to the bank for loans to fix, yes, the oil company mess. We will go for loans to fix that. Instead, go for loans to give you all an increase in the dark salary. The first oil field, Liza 1, they are set to take out 220 million US. Liza 2 is another set. Same with the Liza 3 and Liza 4. And now they're going with Liza 5. Uncle, my reporter, while going through the project documents, found out that ExxonMobil said they will abandon all the oil fields, leaving all the equipment on the ocean floor.
Yep.
So why are they taking out our money telling us is to clean up this time? Huh?
Con men. That's
You
what
know,
they are.
You know, if the reporter didn't go through this project document, we would have never know this. Yes. In the project document, here what Exxon said, the expectation is that the subsea umbilicals, risers and flow lines, what is called the surf components, that will be detached from the FPSO and abandoned in place on the seafloor. That them words we used. Let me read it back so you get an understanding. Word for word. The expectation is that the subsea umbilicals, risers and flow lines, what is called the surf components, that will be detached from the ship and abandoned, yes, abandoned on the seafloor. You know what I mean, Miss Harris? Everything will be loose off from the ship and dropped to the bottom of the seafloor and left right there. Yes. And they will be taking out in excess of 3.6 billion American dollars. That's more than 1 year for Guyana budget.
That's more than
Yes.
10
Yes.
we will get.
They are not cleaning up anything. That is what your millions coming out every month until the end of each project. And hear what I say. Well, hear what I say about the ship now. When it comes to the FPSO, the ship, uncle, Yes. The ship that bringing up the oil. Exxon said it is expected to be towed away. You hear that?
After we pay for it.
You don't hear me, man. Exxon said it is expected to be towed away.
That's an expectation.
Nothing is binding them to remove those ships.
Exactly.
Nothing binding them. It is expected, yes, to be towed away. It means that, yes, that and all are left right here for us to deal with. What are we going to do with that, Uncle? You got a clue? Anyone? You want them? Guyana is in the oil business.
In the circus business.
Uh-oh. Oil done. Exxon gone. And we would be left with every single piece of junk. Yes. You guys remember it cost Guyana $4 million US to pull up and remove 3 little boats that sink at the mouth of the Demerara River. You remember that, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. You guys have an idea the amount of money it will cost Guyana to remove them FPSO and clean up the ocean floor? You got an idea about that?
Billions.
Huh? If they're taking out 3.6 for do that, where Guyana finding that money from?
Exactly.
And don't forget, Uncle, the plan begin how much? 10 FPSO, 10 floating ship out there. And that is only part of the Stabroek block that Exxon own. I ain't even touched the Kaieteur, the Kanji, the Ornduk, and all the rest. I ain't touched them yet. When them will have their own FPSO and all the ocean floor to clean up. When this oil is finished, Uncle and Auntie, every single cent Guyana collected, it will cost 10 times more than what we collected just to clean up the mess on the ocean floor. This is how we leaders running business. Yeah, man. And this is how we running a country, an oil-rich country. All the international experts warning Guyana every single day, slow these people down and get your acts together. You're dealing with international gangsters. Not a single word you're hearing from any one of these politicians. Today they hold a press conference. And guess what? We hear little or nothing from them.
On the eve of the
Huh?
pandemic.
Can you imagine Guyana celebrated independence last week? 56 years. And not a single word about the oil industry in this country. You heard from any one of them? Huh?
Sick.
In President Ali independence speech, he talked about peace and prosperity for all. Where is that peace and prosperity, may I ask? Huh? Is this man dreaming?
Selling dreams.
Huh? Or is he selling dreams? Who is that for? Which Guyanese living in peace and prosperity other than his cronies and families? Huh? We can only have peace and prosperity, Mr. President. Yes. If the leaders, if you, part of the leaders, eke out our rightful share from every one of these foreign companies operating in Guyana. It's only them you can talk about peace and prosperity, my friend. You have to do that first before we can even talk about that. You cannot have the foreigners fetching out everything, leaving next to nothing for us, and still talking about peace and prosperity, man. No. How long will you continue to accept these clownish statements, Guyana? Huh? Uncle, pretty speeches you're hearing, well-worded statements you're hearing from them. Yes. they put together and they keep repeating these things to you, is when you are going to stop listening to these things, man. Huh? And start telling these people that you need food. You need a good life with all this wealth you have. Aubrey Norton, his independence speech was prettier than President Ali one. The man said, we are a nation scarred by bad governance and devoid of national self-confidence and optimism. We can and must do better. First, as a people, we must believe in ourselves. We must believe in our creativity to envision a great nation. Man, you hear the man's words? Yes, those were his words, not mine. We must believe in our abilities to reach those great heights, in our strengths to overcome inevitable obstacles. Man, you hear that? Yes, man. Yes. And we must believe in our resolve and resilience to forge ahead relentlessly. We must build an unshakable and shared understanding that Guyana and its riches belong to all Guyanese. No ethnicity, no group, no class, no citizen is superior to any other. All must be treated equally and respected. And all must share fairly and equitably in the national patrimony. Yeah, man. Man, I had to read this thing for you guys, man. I had to read it. That come from Aubrey Norton independence speech. Those are his words, uncle.
He knows the right thing.
Man, I couldn't do a better speech than this. I want to salute the speechwriter for that, man. This same Aubrey Norton talking about bad governance, and his party is the one who signed the oil contract.
And he said he's not going to renegotiate it.
Yes. This same Aubrey Norton saying we must do better so that we can share this national patrimony,
That they give away.
this national wealth. Yes. Man, you got to be joking, guys. Huh? You got to love these people, uncle. You got to really love these people when they talk, auntie. What is he doing to get? Yes. Get what is better from this oil so that all the citizens of this country can enjoy a good life. Yeah?
You hear words?
What is he doing?
Nothing.
The Liza 1 renewal permit is now due, in which Guyana can rake in billions if they only do the right thing. Where is his voice on these things, uncle and auntie? Huh? Why are you not hearing from him on this most important permit? Mr. Norton said, we must believe in our abilities to reach those great heights. How are we getting there, Mr. Norton? Huh? Tell us. Yes. Come on this radio station, it's open every day. Yes. It's open every day to you. And all the rest of the politicians, even the Kaieteur news pages can be used, Mr. Norton. Yes. Use it and tell this nation how they're going to get to that great heights and all the other lovely things you spoke about. The telephone number hasn't been changed. 624-6456, 622-2222 has not been changed. You can call us anytime, 24/7, and tell us that. Today, there was a protest at the Square of the Revolution, Coffee Square, initiated by me, to bring awareness of what is going on in the oil sector, especially the renewal of this Liza 1 permit. Yeah. I was happy to see some ordinary people turn out to lend support in the fight for what is better for Guyana. I was a bit disappointed. I had hoped to see a lot more people showing up there this morning, including civil society, the church leaders, the opposition and government officials. But, uncle, is the but. I even extended a special invitation to the opposition leader, but he was nowhere to be seen in the protests. The small crowd that came out to join me today in that scorching sun told me that they will be there tomorrow at 10 a.m. to continue this fight. I will join them tomorrow again. Would you join us, uncle and auntie? Square of the Revolution at 10 a.m. Listen, man, I know some of you have to go to work, but you can send your uncle, your auntie. You can send your brother, your sisters. Yes, because at the end of the day, you want a better salary and they want a better life. So encourage one of them to join us tomorrow and let us continue that protest tomorrow. Yes. So am I seeing you guys there? Some of you touched me on my shoulder today. I want more of you touch me on my shoulder tomorrow. And let's carry on this fight. Because what I'm seeing, you are not going to get anything out of these oil that we have out there. Today, uncle, after constant banging about checking ExxonMobil expenses, Minister Vikram Bharat put out a statement that says there is speculation that the time has elapsed and we cannot do the audit or we cannot make any claims. But that is not true. We have been in constant engagement with ExxonMobil and they are willing to support and be part of the audit. What is he saying there, uncle? All he's saying, Exxon and the audit team will sit down and do the audit. That's all he's saying here. He went on to say that they finally get local auditors to do the year-by-year audit and they don't have to wait for time to lapse. Yes.
Wow.
The big question here, uncle, who are the local people and who are they capable? Are they capable of checking those billions of dollars?
Exactly.
Do they have the ability, uncle? The capability and the credibility to carry out these checks thoroughly?
Exactly.
Or this is another way to do, to just give a knick-knacks walk? We have people to get to do the work. We have people who can do the work. We have a lot of people who can do the work, but they are not in that contract. They walked out. You know why, uncle? They said clearly that the time limit put, they cannot work with that. Chartered accountant I'm speaking about, pull away. Yeah, they pull out from the team.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Scam.
The people said the time frame they set to audit billions of US dollars, they cannot do it. So they just pull out.
Yep.
It's a safety of the field development review plan. 2 years they want it done in 50 days.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
The president, our president also put out a statement today saying that he invited opposition leader Norton to a meeting and he did not attend. Oh boy. Just before I come on this program, Aubrey Norton, the opposition leader, put out a 2-page statement outlining why he didn't attend. The man said it was too much of a short time, and President Ali cancelled the first meeting. Yes. I bet in my last dollar this will be the lead stories in all the media tomorrow, especially the government media houses. It's a culture they don't mean to move away from. And this is what they're spewing in your head every day. It's a shame. It's a shame, man, that this is how they keep going on and off. Oh, I invited him, he didn't come, you know. I didn't get enough time, and I couldn't show up. Communication was bad. This is what keep going on every day. Mm-hmm. Then you had our vice president, uncle and auntie. Yes, the honorable Jagdeo held a press conference today. You're going to love this. Yes, one in every 10 years, I think. And the reporters are not given the opportunity to ask questions and follow up on the questions. This has been his style. Every press conference he hold. And what he gets away with, that has been his style. Mm-hmm. He does not give the reporters enough time to ask their questions and do follow up on the questions. Yep. This afternoon, uncle, he opened his mouth and said a renewal of the Liza 1 permit, what can make all of us rich. Yes. He says a no. He can't stop the people from pumping. You hear that, Bernard? Wow. Yes, he says a no. He can't stop the people from pumping like he like pump. Wow. Yes. I want you guys to listen. I want you guys to listen carefully. How Jagdeo is fumbling. How he's mumbling and stumbling for words. Making a case or trying to make a case why he's not holding back. Why he is not holding back the renewal of the Liza 1 permit for us to get rich. You will hear him clearly what he's saying. And I'll play him for you guys. So sit back, relax, and just listen to him carefully.
Again, this brings me to the point about the urging not to renew. There's been a lot of people internationally and locally who've been urging the EPA not to renew the permit for the Stabrook Field, Liza. And effectively that would shut down the production of oil and gas in the country. So that means we lose all of these revenues and we lose everything else. So I see some celebrities and everybody who live in their countries that are expanding oil and gas production now. They want us to stop it here in Guyana, but they don't even have a voice to stop it in their own countries. In fact, they're expanding. And I believe many of them, wittingly or unwittingly, they work for the lobby in these countries, the oil and gas producing lobbies, because they will. The world needs the fossil fuel now. That's why the price is $120 a barrel. That's why it's going up. There's a scarcity of oil and crude oil, and therefore they will reap all the windfalls, the rich countries in the world. So they want to shut it down in Guyana. We are causing climate change. We are destroying the planet. But every day, the greenhouse gases that get churned out of the developed world is maybe tens of thousands times more than our total greenhouse gas in Guyana. But they pick on Guyana because it's a small country. These NGOs and others, they pick on them, and they have some of the local people who make a living out of this too. It looks good on their CVs. They're fighting big bad ExxonMobil in Guyana, and they raise money and they get employment activities. So don't waste your time on these people. They would have us suffer forever, and including some who are now who are flying around in private jets. They were telling us they don't worry about greenhouse gas emissions when they fly around in private jets, but they want us to stop producing.
There you go, Uncle. They want us to suffer forever. I want to play back him in 2 pieces. Yes, and then then you will hear what he says.
On the other question again, this brings me to the point about the urging not to renew. There's been a lot of people internationally and locally who've been urging the EPA not to renew the permit for the Stabrook Field, Liza. And effectively that would shut down the production of oil and gas in the country. So that means we lose all of these revenues and we lose everything else.
Uncle, you admit that the people locally and internationally have been urging the EPA not to renew the permit. It's not the EPA the people really want to urge, Mr. Jagdeo. It's you that were urging not to renew the permit. Yes. But I want to ask why you did not tell the press conference. Why did you tell the press conference what the people are saying? Why you should not renew the permit? What revenue are we losing? We are getting nothing. That's what the people are saying. And the international community, the oil experts, telling Guyana that this is the opportunity we have in our hands without touching the oil contract, without interfering with the sanctity of contract to make money. Yes. That's what the people are actually telling us. So what this crap this man telling us there about losing revenue? Yeah, okay? What revenue are we getting that we will suffer if we shut down? Am I right?
I don't know.
Somebody got to tell me something, man. Huh? This thing is terrible what's happening in this country.
We're trying to make sense of the ramblings of a lunatic.
It is sad what is going on. Hear him again.
So I see some celebrities and everybody who live in their countries that are expanding oil and gas production now. They want us to stop it here in Guyana, but they don't even have a voice to stop it in their own countries. In fact, they're expanding. And I believe...
You guys hear the swing? You hear the swing he's putting on it? He said it's celebrities. If you don't know, Uncle, the Incredible Hulk, the superstar, joining the protests in Guyana against ExxonMobil for a better deal with a better planet. It's in Sunday's Kaieteur News on the front page. The superstar signed a petition that some of the international people initiated so that Guyana can get a better deal and the world can be a better place without that flaring. Apparently that upset our vice president. Oh, that such a superstar can join the bandwagon on a poor country like Guyana for a better deal, which he doesn't want to fight for. You hear that? That's why you have to mention it. Hear him, Akman.
Many of them wittingly or unwittingly, they work for the lobby in these countries, the oil and gas producing lobbies, because they will. The world needs the fossil fuel now. That's why the price is $120 a barrel. That's why it's going up. There's a scarcity of oil and crude oil, and therefore they will reap all the windfalls, the rich countries in the world. So they want to shut it down in Guyana. We are causing climate change. We are destroying the planet. But every day, the greenhouse gases that get churned out of the developed world is maybe tens of thousands times more than our total greenhouse gas in Guyana. But they pick on Guyana because it's a small country. These NGOs and others, they pick on them, and they have some of the local people who make a living out of this too. It looks good on their CVs. They're fighting big bad ExxonMobil in Guyana, and they raise money and they get employment activity. So don't waste your time on these people. They would have us suffer forever, and including some who are now who are flying around in private jets. They were telling us they don't worry about greenhouse gas emissions when they fly around in private jets, but they want us to stop producing.
Uncle, you guys hearing this man for yourself, you know. This man is putting a swing on everything. Listen what the international expert had to say.
Given the size of the current amount owed and the amount we see in new oil discoveries, we conclude that Guyana may never see a fair share of the profits. The government of Guyana and Exxon must also open up their books so the public can better understand what is going on. If Guyana simply approves the environmental permit without real changes to this deal, it will have failed to protect the people of Guyana.
That's all the international people said, the man said. If Guyana fail to look at this permit, they would be failing the people of this country. You hear that? Is there anything the gentleman talked that is wrong?
Completely.
He doesn't need anything from Guyana.
The man's on the side of the Guyanese people. He wants better for us.
The man doesn't need, the man is an expert.
Exactly.
Doesn't want a single thing for Guyana. Guyana can't give him nothing.
Yep.
Begging your country leaders. You know, Miss Harris, I love when they have press conferences. Yes, they open their mouths and not only push their foot, but other things inside their own mouth. Jagdeo went on to say that this same superstar don't have a voice in his country to stop oil production there. Mr. Jagdeo, that superstar is from the United States. And that country, like I said, is receiving 18.75% royalty and just demanded an increase of royalty from the oil companies in December. The oil companies have to obey, Mr. Jagdeo. Yes, they have to adhere to all the rules and regulations in the oil sector too. So nobody has to tell them to shut down. All Joe Biden demanded was an increase in which he believes the citizens deserve from the oil companies. He said these people may be working for the oil companies. What that has to do with getting a better deal for Guyana, Mr. Jagdeo? Ms. Harris? Tell me, man.
Absolutely.
Who they're working for is none of our business, auntie. All we need is a better deal. That's all the people talking about. What is so hard and difficult for this man to understand? He went on to say the people want them to shut down. Nobody says to shut down, Mr. Jagdeo. Not one international expert said to shut down. The people say use the trump card we have in our hand, with the renewal and get a better deal. Stop cherry picking from what other people say. Don't try to confuse this nation. You have been doing this for far too long, and the nation is getting tired of you.
Go retire somewhere.
Jagdeo said the developed world is flaring more, but they pick on Guyana because we are a small country. In the first place, ExxonMobil not supposed to be flaring. So why are you collecting that penny, that junk, that dog food money? Why are you defending what they're doing, Mr. Jagdeo? They can't pump oil. They can pump oil without flaring. They're doing that in the United States and in Canada and England. Why they're not doing that here?
It's
Huh?
sweet.
Why they're not doing it back? Jagdeo ended by saying, don't waste your time with these people. They want to look good in Guyana fighting ExxonMobil, and they would have us suffer forever. Could you believe this man? Are you really believe this man?
Talking.
Eh? All these people want to help us get a better deal. These people asking for nothing. And here how Jagdeo talking down to them. Eh?
It is CEO ExxonMobil.
This thing is sad. No, he's talking like if he owned ExxonMobil.
Big bad Exxon.
Yeah.
How dare you?
All these people saying our government have the opportunity to make a huge change with this permit for the betterment for the citizens of this country. And instead of Jagdeo use the opportunity to correct everything and stop the suffering of the Guyanese people, he is switching the focus to the foreigners to distract you, the Guyanese people. You hear that? How long will you people allow him to do this, man? Huh? The protest continues tomorrow at the Square of the Revolution. And we are going there for a better deal. Could you people join us at 10 a.m.? You got plenty more. Plenty more to come Wednesday. Yes, you got to hear Mr. Jagdeo in his own words at the press conference today. In his own words. Man, you guys going to love what you will hear. So let me just play this last piece and then I'll take your phone calls.
Now, the purpose of an oil company is to make money. It's not to act in the best interests of Guyana. It's the government's job to act in the best interests of Guyana. So if there is any renegotiation, it will only be because ESSO, PES and CNOC want a better deal for themselves and for their shareholders. It will not be because Guyana can negotiate a better deal for Guyana. The government has so far shown that it is incapable of standing up to ESSO, to Exxon. And so I think one would have to ask the question, do you trust this government to negotiate with ExxonMobil? When you look at the government's record, changing the environmental permit, granting the Payara permit against the wishes of people in the country, rushing through with Yellowtail, rushing to do a gas-to-shore project when the World Bank says that there is little or no domestic market for gas in Guyana. When you look at all of these factors where the government does have a choice, and they have been so pro-oil, do you really think that Guyana can renegotiate any sort of improvement to the situation at the moment?
That was our own, born Guyanese, grew up in England, became an international lawyer, and now an environmentalist, fighting for a better world and, of course, a better deal for Guyana with ExxonMobil. She is the one along with Thomas. Troy Thomas,
Oh, Troy Thomas.
who went to court and were able to get the judge to reverse the 20-year license issued to ExxonMobil to 5 years, in which Jagdeo wants to take credit. No, it was that lady, that hero, and Troy Thomas bring about that change. And she have 3 other cases in the court fighting ExxonMobil for the Guyanese people. She don't have to do that. Her bread is well buttered. Like I said, she's an international lawyer, lives in England all her life. Then Lall don't have to go out and protest. No, but I still go out there. Lall don't have to do this program every day and get costs from some of them. But I love their costs. Yes. But I do it. I do it because I want a better Guyana. And I want to see every Guyanese, every one of you, enjoy what God has blessed you with. That's why I am there. That's why I am here, fighting every single day of my life. I don't have a holiday. I work every day, 363 days a year, putting out a newspaper. The only 2 days I don't work is Good Friday and Christmas. Do I have to do this? No. No. But I'm fighting, so I hope I'm going to see you guys. You guys are going to join me tomorrow and the rest of people. We have to carry this team. We don't carry this team, you will get nothing. Nothing. I'm going to play back one more time.
The size of the current amount owed and the amount we see in new oil discoveries, we conclude that Guyana may never see a fair share of the profits. The government of Guyana and Exxon must also open up their books so the public can better understand what is going on. If Guyana simply approves the environmental permit without real changes to this deal, it will have failed to protect the people of Guyana.
If they don't use the permit to get a better deal, yes, they would have failed Guyana and its people. You heard him. Take the phone calls now. Bernard, would you like to say something? Take the mic. Go ahead. It is sad.
The people, both locally and internationally, all we are saying is hold up the permit until Exxon gives us a fair deal, a proper deal. What the man was saying, Guyana will never get a fair deal unless and until we fight and get a proper deal. We have to demand it. But he's saying that people are fighting big bad ExxonMobil. Why are the Attorney General of New York State, New Jersey, these are states in the United States of America, Attorney General of 10 other states are fighting ExxonMobil? Why? Because they're international gangster. They rob the people of their own country. Why not rob the people of Guyana also? We have to fight them. They're international bully.
That was so insulting to hear this man defend big bad ExxonMobil that's destroyed every single country they've operated in. Norway, another one that I can't remember. Every single country ExxonMobil has operated in, they've completely destroyed, if not sent the people into civil war, famine, disease, death. Big bad complete destruction. They've destroyed countries.
And starvation.
Everywhere this company has gone, they've destroyed countries. They've ruined people's lives for generations to come. So yes, it's big bad ExxonMobil.
Yeah.
And if you can't recognize that as the vice president of this country and as the head of the oil sector, then something is clearly wrong.
Yes, I agree with you. One second. You're live on the air, sir.
Yeah, what I have to say is this. Jagdeo and them will never change anything because they appear as though they are shareholders in ExxonMobil, but they go to behave in.
Yes, I agree.
It's either that or mafia running the whole show and they got to listen to the mafia. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Good point. Very good point. Very good point, my friend.
Instead of acting like a shareholder for the Guyanese people or representing our shares in this oil sector, he is defending and acting like a shareholder of ExxonMobil. every one of them, the entire government and the opposition are acting like they have
Yep.
shares and they're shareholders of ExxonMobil. Because if they were doing the jobs that they were elected to do, then we would have already had a renegotiation. We would have had these permits re-looked at, and we would have been taking care of our environment, which we're destroying, and it's people's lives and livelihoods that we're destroying as well. And that's what they're allowing to happen, and then trying to patronize people, have the audacity and temerity to say big bad ExxonMobil. How dare you? You don't respect the Guyanese people. And then you expect to what? People to respect you and people to listen to the nonsense that you have to say as an elected representative? It's a joke. It's a complete joke. I'm sorry, I can't.
He's trying to disparage international people who's trying to help us out, right? Why the people are trying to help us out to get a better deal and you're disparaging? Who are you really working for, right? Who is representing Guyana? Exxon has their people representing them. The government is representing Exxon, everybody's representing Exxon. Who is representing the people of Guyana? Who will speak for the people of Guyana? Glenn, you are the only person standing up and speaking for the Guyanese public. When we have international people trying to help us out and stand with us, he's disparaging people, calling people, telling people they're doing it for ulterior motives.
Yes.
The people have no ulterior motive. The people want us to get a fair deal.
Exactly. You know, it's one style he have. When people, if he can get you on his side, what he wants to do, you know, he come after you, and that's a culture Jagdeo has created in this country. You know, and that culture has to change. And unless we call him out, you know, you got to keep calling these leaders out with their dirty, nasty attitudes. Call them out. These international people does not deserve them kind of language. You should be calling the people and say, come buddy, how can you help us?
Exactly.
You know, the people fly in the private jet. That's their money, that's not your money, Jagdeo. They fly in the private jet, that's their money. They want to help you. Call them and say, come, tell us how can we renegotiate this thing? How can we change this contract? Instead of abusing down the people them. He has always been abused down a custom fella.
It's sickening, man. It's sickening. Right?
It's terrible, man.
And
Why you think I did not speak to him 14 years?
Yeah.
It's because of this attitude. And he don't mean to stop.
Exactly, and that's one thing. When you've been educated to a certain level, if somebody can't respond to your argument and contention, they have no response for you. They can't respond, they have no response for you. The thing with him that I find so insulting is that this government has never put out any kind of credible feasibility study for most of these oil-related activities. And these people who come from AIFA and even that other one, Global, whatever, and a bunch of them. We've had so many reports from everybody. Credible reports that come forward and speak truth about what's going on in Guyana's oil sector. And the government has never put out anything to refute what these people have brought to the table.
Exactly.
Instead of taking it seriously and looking to act on the recommendations of these people, they toss it over their shoulders and arrogantly blaze forward as though they have any clue, notwithstanding the consequences of what they're doing today and what that's going to have on us, the impact that that's going to have on us in the next 10 years, 20 years, and for generations to come. Where are their studies? Why can they discredit other people's studies and they have nothing to refute it with?
Miss Harris, do you know the reason why Guyana is not seeing the Payara review and the Yellowtail review, which he authorized and licensed?
It would never stand up to scrutiny. That is why.
Not only stand up. You got two things there.
Once international take one look at it, they will point out all the flaws.
Yes, exactly.
That's
why
they're not good.
They don't want. He doesn't want that.
Yes.
Exactly.
That may be locked away in his personal safe. You understand?
Yeah.
Because people will see, and they will even see what is recommended in there to safeguard and protect Guyana. But he doesn't want us to see that.
No. And then they come and it's like that whole speech he's playing this, poor post-slavery Guyanese, these poor people that have to suffer. The only reason that the Guyanese people are suffering is because of the ridiculous leadership of the PPP, PNC, and the rest of them.
Is
that is the only reason we're suffering.
now
What is
now
the NGOs who are trying to help Guyana playing a big bad bully? Exxon is a bully who's raping Guyana. The NGOs are trying to stand with us, and he's calling out the NGOs, calling to the NGOs are acting against us.
let's play him back, man, and let the nation hear him back again.
On the other question again, this brings me to the point about the urging not to renew. There's been a lot of people internationally and locally who've been urging the EPA not to renew the permit for the Stabrook Field, Liza. And effectively that would shut down the production of oil and gas in the
Hear that? You hear how he fumbling for words,
Exactly.
stumbling for words, and just want effectively that will mean to shut down the thing.
But at least he admit there's a lot of people internationally and locally urging to do the right thing.
Yes,
That's a
yes.
good. He admits there's a lot of
Yes.
people internationally and locally admitting.
You're live on the air. Good night.
Good night.
You're live on the air.
Yeah. PPPC. What does it mean? Punishing poor people cruelly. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. You're live on the air.
Hi, good night, Glenn.
Yes, you're live.
What's the role of the opposition leader in there? He is a failure to the PNC party and to the Guyanese people.
Yep.
He just want to go in there hoping that he'll become president someday. That man, he don't know what is the role of the opposition leader. I'm so disappointed with his appointment. Right? He is truly a failure.
I can only tell you that I invited him on this program.
He wouldn't come here and talk to you when you want to talk to you. He would say nothing against the Exxon. You know when Exxon talks, they wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, Glenn. Good night, bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you're on
you.
the side.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
These people don't understand the
Yeah.
severity of what's happening.
You
in
know,
this country.
I was making a point when the gentleman called me, right? Is the fumbling of such a straightforward thing, right?
Exactly.
You know, if you listen to him, how he fumbling on a straightforward, the people say, man, hold the permit. You have a chance. This is your trump card. You understand? Ring out where you can ring out from ExxonMobil right now.
This is the only
You understand?
after 5 years you have a chance. You have a chance to do this, to change
Let
something.
me play him back again, let the people hear him, man.
On the other question again, this brings me to the point about the urging not to renew. There's been a lot of people internationally and locally who've been urging the EPA not to renew the permit for the Stabrook Field, Liza. And effectively that would shut down the production of oil and gas in the country. So that means we lose all of these revenues and we lose everything else.
That means you will lose all the revenues and everything
revenues?
else.
Which revenues?
Huh?
And then boasting
Yes.
about the price of oil is 120.
Yes.
We don't even know how much our oil is worth. If we're gonna get $60, if we're getting 120, stop selling dreams to people.
My friend, we have nothing to get, and this man telling me
Nothing.
that means you can stop the revenue.
Yeah.
What revenue you getting?
God
And he
forbid.
own self, in his own words, went to Texas and tell the people them that Guyana, it will, well, we only getting a couple million.
We are living in means.
And we have to live within our means.
Quite
quite
some
some time.
time.
Yes, for quite a while
Yeah.
into the
Not
future.
only that, Glenn, when he said to give the people money, he said the little bit of money we collected is not enough to give the people a cash grant.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why you don't want to get more than the little bit of money we get
Yeah.
to say you could give the people a cash grant? The poor hungry people, women who got to work at night and work security guard and leave your children and attend it, burn the fire. Why you can't do it? Why you don't fight for the people?
Yep.
This people is sickening, man, sickening.
We don't have money,
Bernard,
but
Wednesday
every
I'll have a
couple of
beautiful, I'll have a field day with him, with some of the things he said there at the press conference today. This is why I love technology, you know. You can able to play them, right, so that people can listen to them, hear them, and understand, you know.
Yes, but they might admit there's a lot of people, both internationally and locally. Why are a lot of people internationally urging you to really get a better deal? It's to do the right thing. Why would
Exactly.
you? Why would you listen to a lot of people internationally and locally urge you to do the right thing, sir?
Exactly.
We the Guyanese people, the international people didn't vote you and put you there. We the Guyanese people voted you and put you there. Why would you do the right thing for the Guyanese people? Is that too much to ask that our leaders do what's best for the Guyanese people and not the shareholders of ExxonMobil? The shareholders of ExxonMobil, they fly around the world on private jets around the world enjoying our money, sir. Right? Why don't you say that? Why won't you fight for the poor Guyanese people so the woman don't have to go out with security guard at night to leave her children unattended to the fire kill them? We are Guyanese people, we vote for you. Come on, man, do the right thing for us.
I don't even think it's
You
a
know-
question of these people knowing what the right thing is.
You
at
know,
this point.
They know what the right thing is. The international people are telling them the right thing.
Ms. Harris, we carried a story in Sunday's newspaper. UAE accused of exploiting poor countries.
Yes.
You know, and this is the same UAE that Jagdeo and Ali hugging for come to Guyana.
Yep.
You know, these people exploited Mali. We carried a story about Mali. Nearly leave those people broke with a goal, and they're coming here.
Well, it's the same thing.
Everybody-
They love exploiters.
Yeah, no. They love scams,
Scams, yeah.
crooks. That they could do
Because there are
the
some countries
When
you
they
could
exploit-
never do any of the things that go on in Guyana. This is a
Exactly.
complete banana republic.
Yes.
This country, on every single level, is a complete farce. It could never be considered a real country.
But you have to ask yourself the reason how they do that, because somebody's getting something to allow them to do that.
Yep.
Bernard, Ms. Harris, the only way he could hold a press conference today, because every day we were carrying a front page comment. Why we should hold the Liza permit and rake in billions. You understand?
Yep.
And tomorrow is the deadline. So let's see what will happen. Let's see if if he's gonna grant it without getting anything from Guyana. You know, the basic. Imagine something like insurance, we don't have a cover behind, man.
Exactly.
Huh?
No full
Yeah.
insurance.
Insurance money we don't have.
And you see, the thing is, if civil society, if Kaieteur News doesn't raise these issues, they never respond. You
Yes.
realize that every press conference is as a response to somebody pressing a topic.
Not
Yes.
somebody we hear.
The topic is a topic we're
When you
pressing.
keep pressing certain topics, then you see these people respond. Then they come out in defense, guns blazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
we're
And you listen to him.
lie.
You listen to his words. He said locally and internationally, they are calling on the EPA, not the EPA. They're calling on, sir. Don't do that to the people of this country.
Exactly.
They're calling on you. President Ali put you, and you're in command and in control. Don't tell nobody about EPA. You're heading everything.
Precisely.
Glenn, the US is getting 18.75% royalty alone. We royalty plus publishing is 14.5%. The total take the US is getting over 67%. In China takes 74%. Why are we accepting? The only reason we are accepting 14.5% is so you tell us we get this little bit of money we get, you can't give the people away. Well, we demand, if you demand more from Exxon, you will have enough to give every single Guyanese what they rightfully deserve from their share of the oil. So
Definitely.
He blaming these international people. He said the international people want to be shut down for the people suffer. You are causing the suffering of this country,
the
Jagdeo.
people are suffering now. If you get a better deal, we could mitigate it. We need them to give us a fair pay us what we deserve, so we would not suffer. Because we are suffering now with the little chicken fee we collecting right now. This is madness.
I just hope to God the more ridiculous these people behave and act, the more people wake up to what's happening to them.
They're gonna wake up.
Because
People gonna wake up.
they have to.
People
They don't
gotta
have a
wake up.
choice.
And you know, Miss
They don't have a
Harris.
choice.
Miss Harris, let me make this point again. I want to make this point. I'm gonna make it over and over. What we are doing here at the Kaieteur News, countries with oil took 40 years to do what we are doing now.
Glenn, Glenn?
Yes, yes, you're live on the air, sir.
Yeah. What happened with the gold, with diamond, with uranium, with rare earth, with manganese? They're not telling nothing but that, you know. They're not telling nothing but that. Just I'll. What is that? All the gold get it flying out, dying out. Glenn, bye-bye.
Join the protest tomorrow, man.
Yep.
Join the protest. It's only 5,000-10,000 people in the streets can shut down this country and bring Norton and Jagdeo to their knees. 5,000-10,000 people in the streets of Georgetown, 1,000 in New Amsterdam and 1,000 in the Escribo Coast. Bring Jagdeo and Norton to their knees to renegotiate and change every single thing in this country. But you guys want to stay home and sleep and let Lall go out in the sun. Look, can't even stand up in the sun too long. But I'm going out there tomorrow.
Well, the FAO said again, it's people skipping one meal. When they get one meal for eat whole week, then they're gonna come out on the street when they get enough food for eating.
It's gonna be too late.
Exactly.
You know, allow these people to anchor down, sink down with that deal.
Precisely.
You will never be able to get them out because they're gonna use the police force that we have and the army to shoot we down.
Our children in the streets.
That is what they did in other countries.
Exactly.
So this is why we need to beat the iron when it's hot now.
ExxonMobil has a history. They pay the army in Indonesia to shoot the citizens when they just because they're fighting for the right to share in Indonesia.
That's the thing.
Right now, my friend. Right now, ExxonMobil have more priorities in this country with the police force more than me and you. Look, they put a special traffic light at Houston there for ExxonMobil. Go in the night, they have 2-3 traffic police there, stopping and directing traffic there. You know who's paying for it? They want to tell us it's ExxonMobil.
It's real money.
No, uncle and auntie. No. To my police brothers and sisters who doing that, not ExxonMobil paying y'all. To the commissioner of police, is not ExxonMobil money. It's your own idle money. Them taking out for throwing the police force. Yes. And are you giving them priority for fetch out the oil faster? That's what you guys doing.
Good night, caller.
Yeah, good night. Am I going to answer?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Hello?
Yeah, get to the point. You
Good
on
night,
here?
we're here. We're listening.
Yeah, I'm going to answer. Talk again?
Yeah, he's here. He's listening. Tell him what you have to tell him.
Okay, I didn't hear you talking by phone, no?
Go ahead, man. Let's hear you, man. Come on.
So good night. Yeah, I'm an ordinary. Hello?
Yeah, we're listening.
Go ahead.
Speak. All right, call back. Everyone, do kindly remember to turn off your devices when you're ringing in.
He listened to himself on the way. That's him.
226-7453, 226-7454, 622-2222.
You know, Miss Harris, I don't have the patience with this, you know. Guys, when you call in, once you hear, go ahead. Don't ask any other question. Let's get going.
Caller, good night. Go ahead.
Good night. Namaste.
Namaste.
Go back to the philosophy of Jagan. In Port Parent, when in the colonial days, pull down the Port Parent factory chimney and check out the white bastard because all the wealth went on the outside. What Jagdeo do now on Granger and Harman, right? Throw it on a scale and weigh them and see what you can deny here. Thank you, sir.
I'm not very clear what he said.
I'm not clear either.
All right.
226-7453, 226-7454. Hello, caller, welcome.
Caller, good evening, go ahead.
Yeah, good night, Glenn. And
Good night.
everybody, good night.
Good
Namaste
night, welcome.
Assalamu alaikum. As an ordinary citizen,
Yeah.
I have family that put a bio over the solar and Pramata was one before I family too. And when ordinary people they just care for themselves, to be honest. Money is all we think about.
Yeah.
You know, money is all they think about because them could do 99 wrong and one good cover for them. And you could do 99 good and one bad. Then I want to tell you forcefully that I know you forcefully. I hear what you, but who God bless, no man cause. And forget people go there, you gotta forget godly people. People that could stand up and have the blessing of Almighty God. And I could back you that because I'm a dead man walking. You should know what I'm saying too. If I tell you that family, we only could buy this over here, so they was within the system. But me is like a joke to them.
Yeah.
But I'm not a junkie. I'm an ordinary man, but just I know that I different from them.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll come out tomorrow. I think you need people. You don't need 1 million people. You need 1,000 people. You need just a very few, but God sent chosen. That can stand up and fight the war.
We need to fight it, and we need to fight it together, brother.
Very few watch. We don't have much for fight this war, you know. But we got to get special people. Godly people, special gifted, special anointed.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Okay, I'll come over tomorrow and I'll see if I can reach out to you.
Yes, no
Thank you,
problem.
no
Touch me on my shoulder, man.
Bye.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
We have another caller here.
Take the calls.
Caller, good evening and welcome.
Hello, good night. I'm on the Lall show.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Glenn and panel.
Good
Good
night.
I
night.
want to make my contribution. to the show. My contribution is, Mr. Glenn, Guyanese people need to know that the opposition and the government party, they are all in it from mobile pocket. And another thing that Guyanese people need to know, president and opposition and they are all in dreams. I remember we are out in Guyana. Promises are comfort war. That's my contribution for the show. Everybody enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Join us tomorrow.
Caller, good evening and welcome.
Hey, finally. Good evening, the Lall and the old crew. Yeah, it's a privilege to get through. I've been watching you guys for a very long time, and I go up not too long from Kaieteur News then, so I miss my boy Wheeler, rest his soul in peace. Anyway though, you know, our population is, you know, is little over 1 million, and with this aisle and all this thing going on, this backside and stuff, the people them supposed to be living better, and the supposed to be quote unquote leaders of this country, they should, you know, recognize and know, say that, you know, the people them, we have to put the people them first. Like I say, right, Guyana is like a doorknob. Everybody coming and taking a turn of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not right. And people is really suffering. They're saying that okay, is we is one Guyana. But when you look at it, no, it's not one Guyana. You know, I try to live a fair life, and I'm speaking fairly what I'm seeing that's going down, and it's not right. I raising two kids, you know, and how things going down and so, it's like I becoming more rebellious towards the system, towards the so-called leaders. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to looking out for the people of the country, you know what I mean? And when they start doing that, I would say, okay, they're doing their job. That's why, as I always give Mr. Lall his respect. Meanwhile, when people's got a little talking and so it's like, yeah, I salute this big man. For the simple fact, this man don't have to do what he doing. You know what I'm saying? He got a little money, he could then he can and all that. And he's not a forcing. Mr. Lall is an Indian man. He live in Rupati have his businesses in the ghetto. And I know from since I used to live in Albaistown there, you know what I mean, Mr. Lall always looking out for people in, or because you's a Indian, you's a coolie, you's a this, you's a that. No, Mr. Lall is for all. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, you don't have to do what you're doing and whatever they're suing you because you're talking the truth. You know what I'm saying? And this shows you that the position that they stand, you gonna mess wrong a man because he talking the truth. You know what I'm saying? They have certain ones of them, they're going around and saying, oh, nice road and everything building. But go in the ghetto and see how people really punishing and suffering. You know what I'm saying? And as listen, as watch this show every Monday, Thursday and Friday. As make sure that because I'm being enlightening to what's going on in my surrounding. I'm living in this country and I have a right to know what's going down. And that couple percent that they accepting and them think, no, they're supposed to be leaders, they're supposed to stand up. You know what I'm saying? I said, no, we gotta get this for the people of the country. But what I think that they become acceptable because they pack it all right, you know? And like they frighten these outsiders. Even serve the outsiders fighting for we. They ain't gotta do that. The woman earlier, you know what I'm saying? She living abroad and whatever. The woman fighting and stuff for we. And why the so-called leaders, why they say, okay, that's a good trend, that's something good. Okay, we can there push his side and fight too for we. But there ain't none of that going down.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? But Mr. Lall fighting and the whole crew, you know, I'm fighting and me on right say too. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend.
Support tomorrow, 10 a.m. coffee.
Thank you. Good evening, you're live on the air. Yes, good evening.
Mr. Glenn Lall is amazing. And I want the Guyanese nation to understand. You know, we were talking only the idea about the other session where a whole heap of young people went to what they call Dunstug. That is exactly what our leaders are to the Isle Mobile and the foreign investors. Our leaders are Dunstug. You cannot be leaders for a nation and cannot listen to your citizen and try to defend the companies them who's exploiting your citizen unless you are a Dunstug. Mr. Jagdeo, I'm speaking directly to you, and Mr. Norton, you also partaking with that. Y'all are Dunstug to this nation. God bless this nation. By the grace of God, we're going to get there no matter what happens. We will get there. Have a blessed night, Mr. Glenn Lall. God bless you. Keep up your good work.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, the man is correct.
It's true.
I am fully in support of
I
that
know
call.
Dunstugs that do better business than the government of Guyana. And that's facts.
Yeah. Dunstugs.
Dunstugs. That's what they call those young people.
No, they're not done. They are sellout.
doing
They are
anything.
sellout to the leader in Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea.
Everybody is silent in this country, man.
Yep.
The entire government, the PNC, the AFC, whatever see, everybody like they don't see.
Yep.
You know?
The lawyers, the doctors, the accountants,
Everybody
everybody
is silent in this country.
Everybody is quiet. It's like this country don't belong to them. It's like you see a thief coming to take care of your whole house and you say nothing about it.
Yes.
You don't care for your children.
Wait, man, it's so much greed. It's so much greed people have in this world, man.
Glad, but you don't have a kid.
No, but they are, you know. I must tell you that today in that protest there was a businessman, and that businessman come there and ready to fight every day.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And he doesn't have to join the protest, but he said he already came there.
Exactly.
Right? There are people. You have people who will join you, And you have people who will not join you for various reasons, right? People are scared. People have their children working with them, you know? People depend on them for something. But they understand the fight, what we're doing.
Good.
You have people, all the public servants wants to get out here. You don't think they want to get out here?
Yep.
You have policemen and women want to get out here
What?
and join us. I know many of them, but I can't.
What
They're
I would
police.
say to those people is that in countries where this has happened many, many times over, it was the same thing. There were people who were working for the government, there were people who were civil servants, and the country still went to hell. It matters not what you are doing. If you don't use your life in a purposeful manner, what's the point of being here? You're a nurse, you're a doctor, I'm this, I'm that. But what's your contribution as a human being? How dare us not respect the environment that literally sustains our lives? Look how we're destroying this planet just for profit.
The flaring alone. When Exxon is gone and left us, we will still be living here in Guyana.
Yep.
At least we have to get a fair deal so we have a little bit of money left to help take care of the destruction they will leave with us.
Exactly.
Right? That's all the international people are trying to say with us. Get a better deal so whenever it is said and done, you will at least have something to show for it.
Thank you.
Bernard, when Exxon and all the foreign companies done with this country, the next 10, 20 years, 30 years the most, you will be a flat desert.
Yep.
That's what you'll be looking at. There will be no food. There will be no nothing for our grands.
They're already destroying our fishing industry. It's already destroying our fishing industry. Though they're going to be dumping all the garbage at the dump site. All these are toxic chemicals they're dumping. Right? And if we get afraid, we're not getting anything from, they're walking with all the profits and we get nothing. So why are they here? That's all international people are trying to say to us. Get a better deal. And instead of thanking the people for supporting us to get a better deal, you want to attack the people and tell the people names and tell the people all kind of nonsense.
Exactly. Costing down the people, telling the people how we gonna suffer.
We have already suffered and people try to help us not to suffer.
Exactly.
But you know, sometimes when I listen to these people when they speak,
I'm incredulous. I could never believe
sometimes you just can't find words to describe how you feel.
Exactly.
Glenn, but don't they realize?
Want to know if these people are real human beings, or if
don't they realize
they're just robots?
They're
whatever you program them to say, they say.
Glenn, but they are being recorded for history, for all of history, all posterity. Every word you say is recorded forever. It will be here forever. You are on the wrong side of history. These words will come back to haunt you because you're defending it. You are trying to defend the indefensible. This ExxonMobil contract is indefensible around the world. This is the worst, it's the lousiest deal. It's not even a deal. It's the lousiest exploitation. It's the biggest exploitation of any country over all time with all this and so on.
Yes, in modern history.
In all time, in all history. Even
this is not a deal. This is exploitation.
It's not a deal. It's an exploit. It's the worst exploitation ever.
Yep.
The international people say that, the IMF says that, the World Bank says that, and these IMF, they are not people who would normally say these things.
Exactly.
They are on the side of the oil company.
Yep.
And for them to say it's an exploitative contract, it shows how egregious this thing is.
Exactly.
Jagdeo and Norton, like they have no shame, man.
These people have no shame. They have no sense of patriotism. They have no feelings for their fellow citizens. Their fellow citizens are hungry, don't have a future. These people just want to kick the people down in this country. Our leaders want to kick the poor people down, keep them down forever. They're unconscionable, man.
When Aubrey Norton can say he didn't use the word renegotiation.
As if that's a course.
Yes,
that's a
yes.
Yeah.
You don't want to know how much that thing hurt me.
So how is
it hurts you, but I want to fight. I want to snatch these people up when they say these things that blatantly insult your intelligence.
One of the editors didn't even want to even respond to it.
Exactly.
You know how upset.
Exactly.
You're live on the air, sir. Hello? Yes, you're live. Hello?
Yeah, let me get up in your language.
Yes, you're live. You're live.
Yeah, these people are shareholders, man. They're not going to do anything else. I have a soul opinion. I believe this is in my heart and soul. Yes, it's not too far away. Well, then you're doing everything for extra. Well, then you're a part and parcel of everything there.
Yes.
Understand? You know, do not fast. You never tell you how much child come in. You say you're going to do this and you're doing that. You say that and you're doing this. Them people, all of them who are fighting for we other in this country, them is shareholders, the opposition and whoever, all of them.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, my brother.
Thank you. God bless you too. God bless you. Yes. It's sad, man. Very sad. Yeah, but yes, one of the editor refused to even read it. Yeah, man.
Because it's madness what the man is talking.
Renegotiations award you for 4 o'clock in the morning. You sending out letter to a press. Yes, you're live on there, sir.
Glenn,
Yes.
if we got to be president to fight against the own country that he live in, he ain't have nothing better for we. We expect the road we going down. We just going down a road of totally doom, buddy. You understand? And me vex with exile, you know. Me vex with the so-called leaders that we got. We run in this country. You understand? The only man he thinks stand up for we. So me see nothing good will come out of this.
Me is standing up for nobody. Me is standing up for nobody, brother. I am just doing what God blessed me to do. I am educating you people as to what is going on. That's my job. My job is just to tell you people what is going on. Right?
Don't get people sick, dead body, sickening.
Yeah.
But as I say, near vex with the company, near vex with exam, near vex with none, they will come in and thief out the gold and all them things. We vex with the leaders, them body.
Exactly.
The so-called leaders, them we
Stop calling them leaders. You gotta stop.
This is disgraceful leaders.
Yes.
Let me just change the statement. We got only leaders on me see we got is people like you who sign up for the ordinary Guyanese. Even, let me tell you, even the Muslim leaders, the Christian leaders, the Hindu leaders, man, it's sickening to see that them people can't really come out. And say, man, hey, we don't need the support because you're fighting for the people inside the country. You don't fight to be president or not for you.
Exactly.
Just for the ordinary people who are going to their mass, who are going to the churches, who are going to the Hindu temple also. That's what you're doing. And if we got leaders who just can't stand up and fight with me, where we going by? Show them to everybody because we got nothing to get.
No. No.
Let me tell you, when I do construction work, and we just sit down one midday time and we just eat. You know some people bringing bare rice to work now?
Wow.
Bare rice to eat what? I see I'm Indian guy. I eating this man got some rice in a bag. We bring. But the man eating. When we see this thing, I feel so messed up. I have to go and tell the man, hey, look, the man bring rice and I eat it. Give them all them food, but just to show how people suffering inside the country. But then people just turn at their face. Hey, we don't care what really going on. Them just care about themselves. And if anybody can tell me, we get oil now, you think we get better off now? We punish more body and see what's going on. It just is a sickening, sometimes one day of Guyanese a place. But it's like we the bad.
Wow. Wow.
We just the bad, boy.
Wow.
You understand? But you just keep up the good work, we're going to get it.
Wow.
Even if we go to slow, we're going to get on there.
Send somebody.
Not only, we only you, we still ready to stand up. Something we don't have to do. We paying, you can understand, we paying them politicians. Just say, hey, do it right for the people of the country. You got paying a job, there's a job you're doing, just do it right, buddy. And if the people never put you there, them just begging, hey man, just do the right thing, man, and all we can live good.
Exactly. Exactly.
You can't believe it. And this time a man coming to work with bare rice in a plastic bag.
Oh my gosh. Ooh.
And I said, I'm the man sit up eating this thing up in the car, you know what to do. That's when I passed to go to the plate to get in water. Me see this man got bare rice, Glenn.
Wow.
This thing here really get to me.
Wow.
But watch. You don't believe we get nothing because if we got gold, diamond, all them things ever long. And we don't get nothing. You think we get anything now? We got to set a disgraceful leaderboard. Here's what we got. You understand? Here's what we got. We got nothing more. If you can't stand up for your people, them, hey, just so we get better deal. Just what we want.
Wow.
You can't see what we and say, man. You understand? But everything, hey, we the real one. We don't know you see about them, but
It's
we don't
sad.
see real good. First thing, we got a problem with the leaders, we got to get rid of them.
It's
Vote them
sad.
out. Don't let them come back no more. Start fresh with people who cares about people. You know, Ministry no cares. PPP, PNC, institutionalistic people just care about themselves. You got 700 and something thousand people, and you just can't, all the resources that we got, people can't live like king in this country again, with all the resources. But you give a foreigner $1,000 an acre, and we land.
Yes.
When we go and get the piece like for gold, then you see the problem is what. You understand?
Me and you can't get none.
Hey, we got blood sucker, Glenn.
Yes, I
Blood
agree.
sucker. You know what the people do everything, hey? Race, black, coolie.
Yeah.
All what people want, buddy, fair share. You got paid for do this job.
Exactly.
Do the job, we got paid for do.
Exactly.
We pay them, and you know what we have to do? Then, hey, please do this, please do that, and make them into a God. You understand?
Thank you, my
Leave
friend.
me not there for telling people, though.
Thank you, my
People
friend.
Just disgrace to this country.
Thank you.
We call Guyana, buddy.
Thank
so
Top to bottom.
Yeah, top to bottom, buddy. You don't see the hard thing about this thing, you know, Glenn. Just you get elected for solve the people, them. You get them paid. This country, you get them paid to do the job.
Them they select for thief. Them they select for thief.
We have to you get anybody who cares about people. 750,000 people and they're living like that. They're eating by rice when they come. Can't even afford the egg and butter, a piece of fish.
Oh, it's
And
so
you
sad.
call yourself a leader?
Yeah.
I think personally, buddy, them need to just put them head in a bag. And when they walk in public and they passing people, just put the bag over their head.
Yeah.
Because they're shameful. He said, as I said,
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you.
then this is where we are struggling, but as I said, we got to fight.
Yes, we got to
You
fight.
understand?
Gotta fight.
We got to road, we got to push this card, buddy, till this wheel ain't fall off. We're going to go to the end.
Yes.
We just got to get better.
We got to roll with the punches.
Understand?
We got to roll
We
with the
don't
punches.
ask to change government, do this and that. Just look out for the people, them, buddy.
Exactly.
Talk about that.
Exactly.
You went to president, you still with the trash, PPP, PNC, and all the trash. Look out for the people, them. Election them coming down. The people, them is what matter, buddy. Everybody happy?
I hear you, Papa.
No worse.
I hear
No
you.
worse than when we had nothing but island, them thing there. And nobody can tell me they have this country, they far better. No. We don't we going down the road, buddy. We just going down the road because, you know, the blood sucker them will keep sucking the country and sucking you till probably, you know when.
I hear you, Papa.
That's all the faith. You all the faith?
Thank you. God bless.
Slow, we gonna get there.
God
we gonna
bless.
get there. Just don't lose your faith.
Thank you.
Good. Enjoy the rest of your
God
life.
bless. You too.
Good.
Yeah. I understand what's going on. You understand what's going on. You know, one of them touched me today, and I was so surprised, right? He understand. Good night, sir. You're on the air, live.
Good night.
Good night.
Mr. Lall, listen to the man just now talking about the man go with some rice in a bag.
It's sad.
I mean, I am not, it is nothing good. right? Because we know it's very bad. But Mr. Lall, I myself got to work many times with 2 bottles of water, them banks bottle water, because you can't afford to get things for carry and eat. Till when you come back home, you get something to eat. I want Mr. Jagdeo them to understand. It's only the devil and demons like to see people suffer. If you got the opportunity as a president, as leaders, why you don't make use of the opportunity and bring the nation out of this poverty? Majority of the Guyanese are in poverty. Mr. Lall, you're a blessing because you don't have to do anything. You already got your Kaieteur paper. You're working in that farm. You don't have to come out in this farm to defend this nation. God bless you because you don't want to see the nation suffer. I will be out there tomorrow by the grace of God. God bless you. And I'm calling the rest of these people to come out before it's